Hello, everyone. Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 37. Here's our agenda. I'll go over the news, provide a market overview, and we have 44 companies reporting earnings this week. Slowing down quite some time till we hit October, but the big news is going to be what the Fed decides to cut on Wednesday. Here's our results for week 36. Provided 8 zones. We went 3-1 this week. No entry before. And then, as I just previously stated, we have a 96% chance that the Fed is going to cut on Wednesday. The question is will they cut a quarter basis point or will they cut half a basis point? And that's gonna dictate what happens on Wednesday. And we may have some volatility based off of what Jerome Powell says. So don't expect much movement on Monday and Tuesday, and all eyes will be on Wednesday to see how the market reacts to what cut Jerome Powell decides to do. Here's your outlook for earnings. Again, slow week on earnings, picking up again after Wednesday. Couple of key names we have this week. Nothing major, but we'll see how that plays out. Went ahead and I updated it. Our trades for the week. And the only loser was Chewy. But however, XOM, KR, and CNM were profitable, bringing our totals to 76 and 7 on the year. Moving into the news and starting with Monday, as you can see, there's nothing that will impact the markets on Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, the Canadian dollar will be affected pre-market. So for those of you trading futures and forex, be mindful of that. We got retail sales pre-market on Tuesday, so that might impact the market on Tuesday morning at the open. However, again, I think the big catalyst is going to be on Wednesday this week. Uh, British pound has CPI in the wee hours of the night on Tuesday night, so be mindful of that for those of you who trade the British pound. Then obviously moving on to Wednesday, which is going to be the big day. Uh, the Canadian dollar will be affected 15 minutes after the open. However, the big news is going to be midday with the Fed cut rate and see what happens on whether we're going to cut half a basis point, quarter basis point, or we actually do nothing at all, which would be very interesting. That's going to be starting at 11. So be mindful of that, and that will impact the markets midday. Then in the afternoon, the Australian dollar will be affected. Then moving on to Thursday, the British pound will be affected. And we will be divulging what happens on Thursday with the US equities based off of what happens on Wednesday, and then nothing on Friday. And that's going to do it for the news this week. Moving into the chart, starting with the SPX, as you can see, SPX went ahead and hit that magical number 6,600, made all new time highs on Friday, and then pulled back about 16 points. Nothing major here, no supply in the SPX or the SPY. The first demand level I have for you is sitting at 6459.74 to 6409.38. Moving on to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ as well went ahead and made an all-new time high. No supply in the NASDAQ. The first demand level I have for you is sitting at 23,500 to 23,260. Moving on to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones went ahead and made an all-time high. The only one that really did pull back a little bit more was the Dow Jones compared to the SPY and the NASDAQ. So be mindful there. The first demand level I have for you on the Dow Jones is going to be at 449.24 to 445.46. Moving on to the almighty rut, the rut staying within our levels to see how it still has not breached this last level I provided you last week. If you would have took a trade from there, 2412 to 2466 on the supply side is still intact, and our first demand level is going to be at 2236.46 to 2200.83. Moving into earnings for the week, the first company I have for you is going to be reporting Monday after the market. That's going to be David Buster's, ticker symbol PLAY, Play. So you can see staying between our levels. Demand on the demand side, what I have for you is 771 to 425, and on the supply side, 3520 to 3738. Be mindful that this level has worked on two separate occasions already. Moving on to Tuesday morning, first company I have for you is Ferguson, ticker symbol FERG. On the supply side, 237.70 to 243.55. On the demand side, 184.76 to 174.96. Moving on to Wednesday morning, first company I have for you is General Mills, ticker symbol GIS. On the demand side, 45.02 to 42.37, and supply is pretty high at 74.57 to 75.65. With that being said, I just saw something. Instead of the 75 level, we're going to utilize the 64.84 to 67.49. Next company I have for you, ticker symbol MANU. For those of you who like trading cheaper stocks, first demand level I have for you is 14.28 to 13.68. In the event of an overshoot, you have the 11.56 to 10.44. On the supply side, 21.04 to 21.99. Next company I have for you reporting Wednesday afternoon is Cracker Barrel, CBRL. You can see they changed their logo back after the big to-do. Them not members not liking their logo being changed. On the demand side, 34.61 to 25.50. On the supply side, 80.16 to 84.38. Moving on to Thursday morning, and be mindful that Wednesday will be the day that, again, the Fed decides to cut rates. That shall be very interesting for the markets. Next company I have for you is going to be Darden Restaurants, ticker symbol DRI. No supply. And the demand level I have for you is sitting at 164.99 to 159.69. Next company I have for you is FactSet, ticker symbol FDS. Very close, as a matter of fact, this is very close to this demand level. We're going to get rid of it. It's very aggressive. 345.21 to 331.84 on the demand side. On the supply side, 478.88 to 487.21. Thursday afternoon, FedEx. You can see this is the level that's been holding FedEx. It's worked once, twice, almost three times here. 239.86.246.25. Be mindful this is an aggressive level, so more conservative traders. Here's your level at 258.48 to 264.92. On the demand side, 181.81 to 162.11. Then moving on to Lennar, ticker symbol LEN. On the demand side, 92.13 to 82.91. On the supply side, 151.86 to 157.20. Then moving on, I have Scholastics. Finally got through one of our levels. The first level I have for you here on the demand side is 19.61 to 18.45. Don't foresee us getting back down to 16. And on the supply side, 37.17 to 38.80. That's going to do it for us in the charts this week. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to send me an email. If you haven't done so already, please do so and follow me on social media and click that like and subscribe button if you want to continue getting this information. For those of you looking to join us, our WhatsApp group, feel free to do so or go to the website and see what we have coming. Till next time, happy trading.